What happened with Ferrari at the Las Vegas Grand Prix? Ferrari found themselves in the spotlight again at the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but not just for their on-track performance. Tensions flared between teammates Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, with strategy and communication issues sparking frustration. In the early stages, Leclerc fought for the lead and climbed to P2, but pushed too hard on his tires. This forced him to let Sainz through as his pace dropped off. Later, just before the second round of pit stops, Sainz returned the favor, allowing Leclerc to pass. However, things got messy during the pit stops. Sainz pitted first and gained an undercut on Leclerc, reclaiming track position. Despite Ferrari telling Leclerc that Sainz wouldn't attack him after the stops, Sainz overtook him almost immediately. Both drivers eventually overtook world champion Max Verstappen, with Sainz securing a well-earned P3, his third podium in 4 races. Leclerc crossed the line in P4, but his post-race radio message hinted at dissatisfaction with the team's handling of strategy and communication. Ferrari delivered strong points, but left the race with unresolved tension between their drivers. The team's ability to manage these dynamics will be crucial as they head into the final races of the season and battle for the Constructors' Championship. So let's get into the details of what happened in the race, as there was a lot of drama in this one on the part of Ferrari. We will also get into what the drivers and the team had to say after the race about the incidents. Both cars encountered big tire graining trouble in the first stint on the medium tires after pushing so hard behind Russell, but failing to get past. Leclerc had voluntarily let Sainz pass in that stint because his own pace was so terrible, only for Sainz to swiftly encounter the same drop-off. So Leclerc cost himself track position, thinking he was helping the team, then regained it just before the second pit stops as Sainz drastically faded and let Leclerc by. Sainz went into the pits after that, albeit doing a needless extra lap with Ferrari not being ready to service him, which in the end meant he undercut Leclerc by 3 laps. Exiting the pit lane after his second stop on lap 31, Leclerc had been told it would be really close with Sainz, who by then had tires that were up to temperature. Ferrari told Leclerc across 2 messages that Sainz had been told not to overtake or put Leclerc under pressure, and Leclerc could focus on taking care of his tires. Then, Sainz passed Leclerc at the next corner anyway. A clearly unhappy Leclerc immediately suggested Ferrari should maybe try in Spanish before following Sainz home over the rest of the race distance. In a post-race interview, Leclerc stated, "There's no need for me to go into details of what we discussed. Frustrating, yes, but it doesn't change anything from the team, but it's a bit for the driver. Second place is always nice, but at the end of the day, it's okay. I did my part in the first stint when I had tires that were gone. I didn't want to fight at that point, so I let Carlos by. The rest we will discuss within the team." Asked if he felt Ferrari favored Sainz, Leclerc said, "No, it's not about favoring one or the other. It's about the things that we were told that weren't respected. But that's all good. I've already said too much and don't want to go into details. It's just frustrating when it's like this and frustrating for me, but I can understand that nobody understands that." Despite the tension, Ferrari reduced their deficit to McLaren by 24 points in the Constructors' Championship, with 2 events to go in Qatar and Abu Dhabi. Sainz, who is joining Williams in 2025, was also not entirely happy, despite finishing on the podium. In a post-race interview, Sainz stated, "There was a situation where I let Charles by and I lost a lot of time, and I'm not happy about that. But Mercedes were simply the quickest car today. Maybe one way or another that they would have beaten us anyway," he said. "I think we stayed out 1 lap too late on mediums, 2 laps too late on hards, and by the time I was going to pit, we had this messy radio communication in the pit entry, which probably made me lose that lap, that I was completely grained and I had to let Charles pass. Plus, the 2 or 3 seconds that I lost in pit entry. That means a lot of race time and meant that maybe we could have ended up fighting Lewis. A podium in P4 is the maximum. What I'm not happy about is the execution of the race. I think we can do a lot better but it is what it is. I don't think using the radio or media to criticize or demonstrate. I prefer to do that behind closed doors because there's never good outcomes from these comments. But I'm the first one that's not happy. And I was the first one by pitting and trying to get out of the way." Vasseur, for his part, acknowledged that Leclerc may be unhappy with being told Sainz won't put him under pressure and then being overtaken, but said, "I think it's more the fact that the situation was really difficult for everybody. We will discuss tonight. It won't be an issue." He said he was not worried about any suggestion Leclerc may be less of a team player going forward. "I think again it's always the same story," Vasseur added. That they have to make comments or they don't have to make comments, but they're doing comments in the lap and they don't have always the full picture. We will discuss together and it won't be an issue. So what do you ultimately think of the situation at Ferrari in the Las Vegas Grand Prix? I personally feel the whole situation could have been avoided had Ferrari managed the race a bit better. But there's also the camp that agrees with Charles and feels Carlos should have respected team orders. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.